Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another exhilarating episode of Grim Squadron Radio. Coming at you live from the Outer Rim territories. My name's Zeph. Joining me is my co-host, Jedi Luigi. Luigi, how you doing?
I'm doing great.
Awesome. We have a content-rich, action-packed episode waiting for you guys today. Um, let's uh,
Pew
let's
pew.
get right to it. Sound
All
effects
right.
in tow. All right, so what do we got first?
Well, today there's so much. Just not even from Fantasy Flight alone, like even just like from the System Open and the regionals. But let's get to the Fantasy Flight news. First of all, in veterans,
They're on the
in
way.
yep, they are on the way in veterans with the new Defender, the new Bomber, the Gamma Squadron veterans, the system officers, Deathfire, just for the bombers, and then the titles too, plus the Glaive Squadron pilots for the Defender, Countess Ryad, and Merrick Steele. Oof, oof.
Yeah, right. I mean, we saw the bomber preview a while ago, but recently we saw the Defender preview, and now I actually played against the new Defender.
Mm-hmm.
Buddy of mine, Dan, proxied
Oh.
the title with the tractor
Mm-hmm.
beam because it
Hang
was
on,
we were just
guys.
playing for fun. Hmm?
Let's. What does the new title do?
All right, new title. So there's two of them. I was playing against the Tai D for 0 points. If with a equipped cannon upgrade, after you perform an attack with the cannon,
Mm-hmm.
you can attack with your primary weapon. The cannon has to be, I think, 3 points or lower.
3 points or
3
less.
points or less. So really, it forces you to take one of those utility cannons, like the ion cannon, flechette cannon, tractor beamed. The flavor that I face against, and I think everyone's gonna face against, is the tractor beam. The tractor beam's huge. That
Mm-hmm.
that that thing's a piece of work. Defender with the new upgrade, good ship. Single-handedly destroyed me. He didn't need Palpatine. He ran Colonel Vessery
Uh-huh.
with the title tractor beam.
Okay. What does Conservatory do?
Vessery, God, what does he do? He's the guy where when you're attacking, you
Mm-hmm.
may acquire target lock on an opponent if there's already a red target lock on that guy.
Okay, cool, cool. So he.
So he rolled that, and he also rolled Vader with the usual accoutrements.
Mm-hmm. And Vader has advanced targeting
Yeah,
computer,
the advanced targeting computer.
which means when he target locks, he gets to add a crit. So
Yeah.
Vader target locks first, then Vessery target locks, and then you're in a world of pain.
Oh yeah, and he also, and I had given the guy the idea for this because we
Mm-hmm.
were talking on the way from one tournament where we were on the road.
Okay.
Uh, the purpose for downshifting with adaptability. Adaptability, for those who may or may not know, it increases or decreases your pilot skill by one. You get to decide that when you place the ship on the board. Now, we were struggling for the longest time on how to downshift effectively because everyone seems to be using it as a free half veteran instincts, right?
Uh huh.
So, I mean, like, why not? You increase your pilot
Yeah.
skill by one. That's amazing. It's
Yeah.
free. It's zero
And
points.
yeah, adaptability is 0 points, and when you deploy the ship, you choose to either increase or decrease the pilot skill by one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I was trying to figure out in what sort of silly little circumstance that downshifting is a thing, going reducing your pilot skill, because
Mm,
you rarely ever want to do that, right?
mm-hmm.
Why would you want to reduce your pilot skill? But we figured out that if you want to set up somebody like Vader with somebody like Colonel Vessery, who I think is a base 7, right? Or he's
Yes.
a base 6. I'm not
A
sure.
six. Vessery is six.
He's a 6. So when you're running Defender and Vader, you're going to be running and Palp. You're going to be really tight on points because the defenders are expensive, very expensive point wise. Vader very expensive. Palp just to put him on a shuttle alone is 29 points.
Mhm.
So, in order to cut costs, instead of giving this guy VI, we give Vader adaptability. Are we sure Colonel Vesri is a 7?
No, he's a
No, he's a
6.
6. So, yes. So, Colonel Vesri gets VI. He gets up to 8. Well, it's not good enough because we want Vesri to shoot first. We want Vesri to lay in with you with the
Tractor
tractor
beam,
beam,
and
reduce
then
your
hit you with
agility, hit you with the primary, strip your shields, so Vader can apply that crit that he gets for free for 1 point just for target locking you.
Mhm.
Just for target locking you. So we came up with it. We were discussing in the car. We are like, all right, well, this is a situation. So if I have somebody who's a 6, we bump them up to 8. I can downshift Vader down to
8.
the 8 and have him shoot after Vessery or somebody else setting him up. So Vessery rolls in, hits you with the tractor beam. He's already target locked from Vader, so he gets the reroll. He's gonna tractor beam you. I think
Mhm.
during this entire game he failed to tractor beam me once, and that's because there wasn't already a target lock on him. So
Oh.
I tractor beam. I get a fun token. Moves the ship if he wants. He actually never did that because I was running 2 jump masters and a G1A. I was kind of experimenting with the mind link. I wanted to have a fun game, so I was going to set up with the contracted scouts, the U-boats, with a PS5 G1A with his tractor beam. So he shoots for his tractor beams and reduce their agility. Laying with the torps, just push more damage through. I'm just thinking of how to use the mind link because I know you like the mind link, and I was all right. I'm kind of skeptical about it because it takes up your EPT and you can hamstring yourself with a stress, right?
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to figure out ways to utilize this EPT, which in other world could just be clowny or weird. And it didn't work because I just got my ass handed to me by this. Once I told the guy, hey, by the way, you know you can tractor beam small ships, right?
Yeah.
He, it, Goodbye G1A. It
It's
suffered B wing syndrome and died.
yeah. Yeah.
But defender, that setup, the downshift,
Mm.
good list. I like it.
Okay. Cool. Cool.
So the
Uh,
defender, good ship. I haven't experimented or seen the new title, which cuts 2 points, the X7,
yeah.
and if you go a 3+ maneuver, you get a free evade. Is it evade token or evade action?
It's an evade token.
Evade token, so you can just ram at people and not care.
Yeah. I want to talk about one of the pilots though.
Which one?
Countess Ryad. Pilot skill 5. 34 points base.
Mm-hmm.
When you reveal a straight maneuver, you may treat that as a Koigen turn instead.
Oh, so you can do what 2 through 5, and they're all
2 through
green.
5 are all green K turns.
That's a lot of maneuverability, but like it's still a PS5. I don't know.
It's still PS5, but you can arc dodge like a madman.
Can you?
Yeah. I mean, come on, like they can't tell if you're gonna do a straight maneuver or just K turn around them and blast them in the butt.
I feel like I would just consistently K-turn. Like the other day
Yeah.
when I was running that lukewarm build
Mhm.
with Luke and Ezra on the Falcon, and I
Mhm.
was running Elo. Elo's pilot ability is doing Talon rolls. You may consider them to be white maneuvers, and as you saw from that game, I just could not stop Talon rolling.
Mhm.
I
I
just
saw
had
that.
fun. So I think if I ever got my hands on her, I'd be like, I'm just K turning.
Yeah.
I don't care.
And you can give her push the limit, the title, the X7 title, and
Yeah,
then twin ion.
people
Hmm?
like the X7 title on that.
Yeah, because well, think about it. You do a 5K turn, you
Isn't
de-stress, you get a great evade token, and you can focus, push the limit, target lock. I mean,
isn't that they do actually give it to her in the actual Fantasy
yes,
Flight
they do.
article? They give you that
Yeah.
PTL X7 twin ion build, so that I think the only I don't even think you have a white maneuver there. Uh, no,
The
your hard threes are white.
and
I think the
the
twos and
white
the
K turn is
ones.
also still there.
Well, but you're never gonna do it.
Well, what if you get a crit that's like the pilot, the stun pilot thing or whatever, where it's like you can't do straight maneuvers? You just do the white K turn.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Well, it's still there in your back pocket.
Hmm.
You're rarely ever gonna happen. I think you're always gonna just abuse the green K
Hmm.
turn because why not, right?
Yeah, of course.
And your hard ones and your hard twos, I think, are red, right?
Yes, they are. That's why the twin ion engine helps with the de-stressing.
De-stressing because everything that's not red is more or less green.
Hmm.
So I look forward to the new Defender. I think we'll see a meta shift. I think they'll be really popular.
Oh yeah.
They will be a staple in Palp Aces to come.
Yep.
We are going to be seeing them for quite some time. And you know what? It's well deserved because this ship came out a while ago. I forget which
Wave
wave.
4, I think.
Wave 4. I think I just started getting back into X-Wing
Yeah.
around that time. And it rolled out with this and the Phantom. And the
Mm.
Phantom is the biggest piece of power creep that we had ever seen. A small ship
Mm.
with 4 dice.
I remember
Unheard
my
of.
some of my first lists were just the Defender and the Phantom, and you hated it.
Oh, well, because you couldn't kill the Defender and you couldn't touch the Phantom.
Mm.
I mean, later on we proved that it's silly, and then they nerfed the Phantom.
Yeah.
It was really the Phantom that was the workhorse of that list, I
Hmm.
feel. But
Yeah, that's fair.
we're now in the 21st century. Well, it was 21st century then, but now
Yeah.
in this modern era, the Defender's back in a big way. I look forward to it. I think it's a nice line ship for the Imperials. It's a hard nut to crack. 3 stats across the board is just it's super good.
Yeah, pretty ridiculous. Did we talk about the bomber?
No, we kind of glanced over it because we saw that preview a long time ago. We can talk about it now, though.
I just want to talk about Deathfire. He's the new bomber pilot, pilot
Mm-hmm.
skill 3. I think there's a trend with bombers. You've got Death Rain and Deathfire.
A
I'm
lot
gonna,
of death coming out of them, right?
yeah. So when you reveal a maneuver dial or after you perform an action, you may discard, you may perform a bomb upgrade card action as a free action. So he's kind of like pushed the limit for bombs. It's like after
Mm.
you do a normal action, you get a free bomb action, or when you reveal your dial. So like if you want a proximity mine behind you before you move, you can do that.
Oh,
Or if
really?
you or if you do a one forward, you could barrel roll and then drop a prox mine.
Can even give yourself boost.
Yeah.
Now it has to be after you do a regular action, right?
Yes, after you perform an action or reveal your dial.
And you don't take stress from this.
No, you do not.
Does this guy have an EPT?
Sadly not. He's pilot skill
Ah,
3.
man. I was gonna say give that guy push, and you could use some really clowny things, but that's probably why he's a PS3,
Yeah.
because that could be abused. I feel.
Definitely.
Um, I was actually kind of surprised because I kind of speculated that one of the bomber pilots in Imp Vets was going to be Juno Eclipse because I'm pretty sure Juno Eclipse was a bomber pilot. She was a Black 8 bomber pilot during her time in the Empire. If we're gonna talk
Yes.
about fluff,
Yeah. Yeah, yes she was.
yeah,
They didn't go with Black 8s for it to be the veterans though. They went with Gamma veterans
yeah, with
instead.
the fancy white stripes.
Yep.
I mean, that's all. That's nice and dandy, but like, they put Marek Steele back in the Defender because he was always a Defender pilot, and for some reason, like in the beginning of X-wing, they felt to put him in an advanced.
Mm,
I don't recall him ever being an advanced pilot in terms of fluff. I think it was always a Defender, right?
yeah, I think so.
So I feel like Juno should have definitely been in a bomber, and
mm.
I feel like her pilot ability would be pretty legit in a bomber because it
Oh
would
yeah,
just give you way more maneuverability, so you could actually like do the do the things you need to do without being stressed out all the time. Just upshift and downshift. I
oh
feel
yeah,
like she'd be a
definitely,
really good bomber pilot.
definitely. The Gamma Squad vets, by the way, are 19 points to come with an EPT.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that. There seems to be a trend.
Mm-hmm.
They had it. They've had these in the Tie Fighter way back in the start of X-wing, and
Yeah.
then they didn't really have this up until recently. The trend being Fantasy Flight giving unnamed mid-tier, mid-pilot skill tiered pilots EPT. So usually EPTs we would see them on aces, right? Named pilots.
Mm.
Uh, we only saw a rare example of what I'm talking about with the Black Squadron and with the Tie Fighters.
Yeah.
Your Black Crack. These pilots came out way back when the core box was the only
Yeah.
thing.
Core box. They had it.
So it's very interesting to see this shift to start giving mid-tier pilots these EPT slots so that they're kind of like an unnamed ace. And I
Mm.
feel like that's really cool and it opens up a lot of things you can do with middle tier ships. That seems for me to be the big thing in this meta is you're either running aces or you're running middle of the road. You're not really going to see like swarms of PS ones and twos anymore. And I
Mm-mm.
think twin laser turrets are for a lot of people, God bless a dead a dead list.
Uh, we'll talk about that later.
I mean, you can argue, but how like where do we see like we might see it in a top 8.
Yeah. Okay.
And I remember
Yeah. That's where.
you mentioned yesterday. I won't go into details of how or why you mentioned it, but there was this kid at one regional
Mm-hmm.
who placed 24th. I think it was running 4 TLTYs or what was it? Something like that,
I
right?
think it was wise.
Yeah,
But yeah,
your
he got
staple
24th. He went 3-3.
3-3. So I'm pretty sure that the TLT meta has fallen out of favor, which kind of upsets me because I'm the proud owner of Four Hawks. I will never use.
It's your fault, not mine.
Hey, it almost won me a store championship, so I think it was worth the bid.
Okay.
And it might have won me our store championship if I was able to participate, but I was in
Mm,
sunny Florida at the time.
yeah.
So what do
All
we
right.
got next?
The system open choices. So for those of you who don't know, Fantasy Flight is gonna make whoever wins the system open of each country. They're gonna go to. There's gonna be 8 of them. They're gonna go to the system open finals
The
at
Coruscant Invitational.
yeah Coruscant Invitational, and they will play. They have to play one list from each faction, and on top of that, they have to use a ship chosen.
Is it one list from each faction?
Yes, it
I
is.
thought it was just you have to play. If you're gonna pick this faction, you have to pick this ship.
No, it's they have to play each faction once to
Okay.
demonstrate their skill with the faction.
Okay.
It's pretty cool. And also, they have to use a ship chosen by the fans for each faction to be included in their list. All of them do. So
So
like,
I don't know about you,
mhm.
but I'm pretty sure the trend is to vote for the most nerfed ship out there.
Oh yeah,
Just
definitely.
pick the
Everyone's
biggest piece of garbage, and it kind of makes me sad because both you and me have ships that are very close to us that are considered garbage tier.
Oh, absolutely. We'll talk about them in a minute. So for Imperials, the top 4 are right now it's Punisher versus the Fire Spray,
Okay.
and the TIE Defender versus the Bomber. I don't know about you, but I voted for I think the Fire Spray,
I
the
voted for
Imperial Fire Spray.
the imp fire spray because the imp fire spray, unlike its scum counterpart, is garbage.
It's trash, yeah. It's
And the biggest argument is that well, the pilot abilities on all these scum fire sprays are just better,
mhm.
and uh, the generic pilot for the scum fire spray has an EPT, and I actually ran the generic with an EPT for the longest time,
Yes, you
and I
did.
feel like it's absolutely essential for a fire spray to have that EPT slot. It
Mhm.
just gives them so many options that they need to just utilize.
Yeah. I mean, I would also consider voting for the Punisher just because you have to sink so many points into it.
Oh yeah, it's a huge point
But
sink.
I think the Fire Spray is the better choice in that case.
It's the clownier choice, and it allows people to run the fan favorite no disintegration Boba Fett.
Mhm.
No disintegration.
No, it doesn't.
What
Yes.
what what the other bracket is the Defender's
TIE
bomber.
Defender versus the TIE Bomber. If we didn't have Vets coming out, I would vote the Defender, honestly.
I might vote the bomber, but then again, we have guidance ships and all these
Yeah.
swanky
That's
ordnance.
why I wouldn't
But
do
then
it.
again, without imp vets, they do not have the generic EPT wielding
True, you'd have
scrub
to go with
pilot.
the Aces or the
So
Scrubs.
so you can't build it like your jump master contracted scouts
Mm.
with Deadeye.
So I'm pretty sure they're gonna have the imp aces by the time the Coruscant Invitational comes around.
Infat,
So
yeah.
I voted for the bomber.
I think I voted for the bomber too. I don't really remember. My primary vote was the fire spray. I'm going to be
Yes, yeah,
following the imp fire spray all the way to the finals.
I hope so.
All right, so
So
what do we
yeah,
have for rebels?
Rebels. The first bracket is the Hawk 290 versus the A-wing, and for me that's no contest. Put the Hawk in there.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah. I
put
mean,
the Hawk.
because A
Are
wings
good.
won. They won two regionals.
Yeah.
The green arrow, right?
Yep, the
Yeah.
Green Arrow. 5 A-wings with
Your
crack shot
crackers.
adaptability.
Your crack A's. Your crackers.
So yeah, put the Hawk in there. Screw it.
I think I
Make
voted
them
for the
make
Hawk.
them run a Hawk. And then the other bracket is the T-65 X-wing versus the Ghost. Now, this was a hard choice for me. Personally, it took me a bit, and I decided on the T-65
Yeah, me too.
because it needs help.
It needs love,
It
and
needs
it's
love.
classic, right?
Yep,
It's the classic X-wing. The
they're
game
better.
is called X-wing for God's
There
sakes.
better be some at the Coruscant Invitational.
See, my only concern with the Hawk, right,
Yeah,
is if everyone's voting clowny ships,
yeah.
and you have to include one clowny ship, I would just run what almost won me store championships and won me tournaments. The four Rebel Hawks with the recon specialist and the twin laser turret,
Mm.
and just bring that old piece of turd Hawk box back and just see what I can do.
Okay, that's fair. But then again, you're gonna have to think about what are the other guys gonna be running and all that stuff.
Oh, I'm gonna be running, four black cracks and a garbage fire spray because I'm Imperials. Or I'm stuck with a Star Viper or something like that. Let's talk
Okay.
about
Oh,
Scum.
Scum. All right. So the first bracket is Star Viper versus the Kirax.
Another tough choice because
Yeah, I
I don't
love
know
both of
about
these
you,
ships.
and well, I know you love them, but it's tough for Scum in general
Mm-hmm.
because all of our like proprietary ships for Scum, and I say our because we're both Scum players, right?
Yep.
I fancy myself as a Scum player. You fancy yourself, I believe, as a Scum player.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say so. I'm pretty sim.
Our proprietary ships, proprietary meaning not the Y Wing, not the Z95, not the Hawk, our proprietary small base ships. So the Kirax, the Star Viper, the Sick, the G1A, even to a lesser extent, but I would throw it in this, are garbage. These ships are terrible. They get trounced on by every counterpart. They're either overcost, they don't perform enough, they don't have enough slots. I mean, the
Uh,
Kirax is just the T65, which is also garbage, but with a hard one. Whoop de doo. And
One
with
less
a
point.
million and a million less pilots.
Also, no astromech.
And no astromech. I mean, come on. Okay, so I have the illicit slot, but what is that gonna do? I'm gonna take drugs? Is drugs gonna help me not die? Maybe for a round, but it's not gonna give. It's not R2D2.
Mm-hmm.
It is an integrated astromech. I can't integrate that thing. I can't integrate my drugs into my vein and pop it every turn.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be great. I mean, you could run the feedback array, but that's an interesting point as well. All the illicit upgrades, with the exception of the feedback array, and I think the new one coming out in Heroes of the
Mm-hmm.
Resistance, are disposable. You pop them
Yes.
and they're done. So it doesn't make up for the integrated slot at all. I feel
No. No, it doesn't.
on small base ships, definitely
The
not.
the other choice besides the Kirax is the Star Viper, which is pretty overcosted.
That thing suffers E-wing syndrome.
Yes, it does. Pretty hard. And the title. The title is the best and the worst thing.
It's even worse because people will take the E-wing for core and horn. I mean, the E-wing is an
Yeah.
overcosted ship that needs a lot of love.
But Cornhorn's about where it should
But
be.
core and horn, people take him because of his ability and
Yeah.
the fact that that thing can throw three dice. Here's my fire control system target lock, and then I shoot you again.
Yeah.
But we don't have that
Yeah, the
in
Star Viper doesn't
Scum.
have enough aces.
And you have to pay for those slots that the E-wing natively have with the Virago title, and
Yes,
only
yes you
one of
do.
them can have it.
It's one
Only
point.
one.
So you can't even run more than one with the title. And
It's unique too.
yeah,
That's terrible. I voted for the Star Viper,
I did too.
and I know you love that thing because you're
I
a big
do.
fan of what's that game? Empire at War.
Yeah, Forces of
You're
Corruption.
you're a big Tiber Zan fellow.
Oh yeah, I. I'll talk about that later. How I want Scum Aces.
Scum Aces, man.
Yeah.
We can hope and pray.
All right. What's
So
the
the
second
the other
bracket?
bracket, both ships very close to my heart. I would say
The Skik and the
a
Fire
year
Spray.
ago, a year or two ago, I ran a fire spray in 2.6, and I loved it. And then I went to the PA regional. I went 1-5, and I was really sad. That was my first taste of competitive X-wing, and I will never forget it. It made my favorite list complete garbage. And I
Hmm.
think that just goes to show you cannot fight meta trends. You can adapt to them. You can, do your own spin on things. People have their own spin on two jump masters, three jump masters. People have their
Yes.
own
There's a billion
spins. There's a
variations.
billion variations of PAL bases. You have varying degrees of crack swarm with what kind of ace pilot you may want to throw in there. Hal
Yeah.
runner, maybe throw in youngster. I came up with, I told you I think like last week, crack rage. So it's four
Yes.
black cracks, youngster with rage,
And
and
Epsilon.
Epsilon. I think it's Epsilon leader, the guy that
Yes.
lets you.
Yep.
It's a AOE wingman.
Yes. Epsilon leader.
So you just rage it up. You just run at them, rage it up,
Mm.
and you keep raging until Epsilon leader dies, and then you pop it only when you're in range one because two stress, that's a lot.
Yep. All right.
But if you can manage it to, all right, everyone rages, and then we all remove one stress, and then next turn we all do green maneuvers.
Mm.
That's way more manageable, and you could push a lot of damage through. You get your re rolls, you
The,
get
the focus.
the
Yeah.
focus, and then you could crack it up.
Okay.
So imagine a cracker age swarm coming at you at range one.
Mm.
That's nasty. That's a lot of damage.
Yeah. We went a bit off topic.
Oh yeah, the sick. I
Yeah.
love
Sick
this
and
thing.
Fire Spray.
It's my favorite. It's kind of a cross between a tie interceptor and a tie fighter, but it's not really in the right place. It's not cheap enough to be a TIE fighter. It doesn't have
Mm.
the right upgrades. We don't have enough pilots. That's a problem with Scum.
In general.
Scum in general, but even more so for our small base ships, we don't have enough pilots.
That's true.
X-wings, a million goddamn pilots. TIE fighters, a billion goddamn pilots.
Mm.
Sick at four pilots. My,
Yeah.
my my choices of ace is defensive Howl Runner and Leighton, who is kind of like,
Trash.
well, he's trash. I mean, he only benefits you only benefit from you when you already succeed. So
Yep.
they're either never going to shoot at him, they're going to kill him before you can even proc his pilot ability, or they're going to shoot once and then you have an evade token and it's going to go to waste.
Yeah. So the other choice is the Scum Fire
Scum
Spray,
Fire Spray, and that's kind
which
of
is actually
surprising.
good.
The Scum Fire Spray is pretty good. It doesn't really compete right now in the age of robots and contracted
U-boats.
scouts because U-boats, as we all know, are very aggressively priced. You can run a cheap one for 33 points and throw out mass
Mm.
amount of damage and not care, and I could shoot 360.
Yeah.
But the
The
fire spray, kitted the right way, run you about 50 points, but it'll do the job,
Yeah.
and it can deal a lot of damage. Big favorite of mine is Cat Scarlet. I usually run her with K4 and VI, but now with a heavy laser cannon. Now I've been trying K4, Dengar, and Predator, so I always have rerolls. I don't have to worry about doing green maneuvers to get that target lock, and it's 5 dice out the butt. It's pretty good. 5 dice, pretty good. Anytime you can
Yeah.
throw 5 attack dice, pretty good. Pretty good day.
Okay.
The sick needs a lot of love.
Yes. Yes,
Um,
it does.
in order to make it kind of like a tie interceptor, you need to throw on it stealth device and mangler cannons. It doesn't cost as much, but then again, it isn't as good. It doesn't have a boost. Um, it doesn't have the auto thrusters.
No, it does not.
So
They did that specifically so they couldn't just you couldn't just slap auto thrusters on it. I feel.
that's silly because now we have the tie advanced prototype, which is even more like the sick, but it
Yep.
has a boost, so you can give it auto thrusters.
Mm,
If you gave it a boost, it could be kind of like an A-wing, and you can give that thing auto thrusters. So I don't know. I really wish it had the native boost. Maybe we can give it like a title or something,
yeah.
or we can give it a boost
Do you want to
for
talk about
sheep.
possible fixes or not?
I think if we talk about possible fixes,
We'll be
we will
here all
be
day. Yeah.
here
Okay, it's
all
fine.
night.
All right, so let's go into the Heroes of the Resistance.
Yes,
Ooh,
this was announced on May the 4th.
fourth, be with
Funnily
you.
enough, I was talking a couple days before how Fantasy Flight, I even posted on the Fantasy Flight
Yeah, you
forums, and
did
it
actually.
got a little bit of attention up until they dropped the box. I was like, oh, you could do an Escape from Jakku box with two TIE FOs or two TIE SFs
Yeah,
and the Falcon.
yeah.
I I called the Falcon the square dish
Mm,
with a Ray
I think
pilot,
everyone did.
and I also called, you're not going to believe, the art on Finn's crew card. If you see
Actually, that's true.
the preview picture, you can't see his ability, but you could see the art. And there's one common theme in The Force Awakens about Finn, and that he always looks panicked. He always looks panicked.
And they captured that in
They
the artwork.
captured that perfectly with Finn being shot at by, I believe, a stormtrooper.
Yep,
It looks like it, and he's just like, "What do I do? I gotta get off Jakku. It's insane. God damn you, Poe Dameron. Why am I here?" He's
yep.
just panicking.
Ooh, so let's talk about what's in the Heroes of the Resistance.
Yes,
It's the new Falcon and a black and orange T-70.
Black One
Yep.
with a PS9 Poe Dameron.
Yeah. Oh, do you want to talk about that?
Oh man, my favorite meme on the Dank X-Wing memes Facebook page is PS8 Poe with the PS9 Poe, which is only 2 points more,
Yep.
and the picture of Newt Gunroy and his famous quote from Episode One. Let me bring it up here.
Now there's two of them.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
Yep. Yep. Oh my
Now there are
goodness.
two Poe Damerons, and
Yeah.
breaks a precedent.
Yes, it
The
does.
precedent being,
Reprinted a pilot exactly the same,
mm-hmm,
but now he is a not new pilot skill, and uh,
two
is
points
two
more.
points more. The thing is, I can see why they did this, because in the movie he kills 11 ties in like 11. Wait, no, it was like 9 ties in 11 seconds or something like that, right? And like they really just, I feel like this is what they wanted to release in the first place. They didn't want to release the TFA core set or the blisters immediately. They wanted this.
Well, yeah, because you get no reads from the movie about these pilots.
Yeah.
Now that the movie's out, we have reads on Ray. We have reads on all these people.
Mm,
We have reads on what's his name? Nien Num. Nien
Nien
Num
Num.
is in there.
Ooh, I don't
He was a
know.
throwback to Endor. I love that guy.
Yeah. I feel like the thing is, the mouse wanted TFA stuff, and they had to do
Well,
it.
yeah, you have
Yeah.
to do it. You have to obey the mouse.
Hmm.
I mean, we saw that South Park episode where the Jonas Brothers tries to disobey the mouse, and what does he do? He turns into a giant balloon and destroys a city, and then we never
Yes.
see him for 1,000 years.
Pretty much.
Imagine no Disney for 1,000 years. That'd be terrible.
That would be. So anyway, here are the new pilots. It's Han Solo with a new ability. We don't know what it is yet. Rey with the ability of, hang on, let me find her. There she is. When attacking or defending, if the enemy ship is inside your firing arc, you may reroll up to 2 of your blank results.
Kind of like Dengar, but
Hmm.
not like Dengar because you don't get the double tap, but you just get rerolls if they're in arc.
Yep, it's basically almost double Predator for blanks. Or no, double. You don't know, just 2 blank rerolls
Yeah,
if you're
just
there in arc.
yeah, it's
And
just here's a reroll.
she's 45 points, 1 less than Han, pilot skill 8.
Did we
Have
confirm that she's 45?
Yeah,
It
it's in
says
the
it on the
yeah,
article.
yeah,
Because
it's right there.
we can't see the card. We see
Uh,
like
they
half the art.
they have links to some of the stuff they are doing,
Okay.
so
Oh wait,
you
no,
can
they
see.
do have a link to the card.
Yeah,
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 it is 45 points. Comes with an EPT,
yes,
so that's
yes, she
pretty
does.
good.
That's pretty good.
New
Uh,
Chewie,
there's a new Chewie. We don't know what he is yet.
and here's the sweets. Here's the fix that we've all been waiting for. For
Hmm.
those who have been playing X-wing a long time, have noticed, or even maybe recently, when you pick up the Falcon, you notice the generic for the Falcon has nerf stats and nerfed cost. Part of that is the argument is that Chewie, Lando, and Han are flying the actual Falcon, so the title isn't enough. They also have buff stats. They have buff
Yep.
cost, but they have buff stats.
Mm.
But nobody runs a generic because the generic is terrible. Why would you ever run it?
The thing is, this was a different time. This was like Wave 2, I think. Maybe
Yeah,
even
wave
Wave
one.
1.
I think it was like wave one.
This was before they had
Wave
really
one, wave two. Yeah.
gotten to their stride, and they thought, hey, maybe this will be cool and thematic.
Yeah.
And it turns out, no, it just doesn't work.
Themes are dead. Memes are in. Three jet masters. Twin laser
All
turrets.
right, relax,
That's what we
relax.
want.
All right, shut up. Calm down.
No.
So anyway, so we think the new resistance smuggler, if that's what he's called,
Resistance something. He's a
yeah,
PS3.
is gonna have the same stats, maybe an EPT. We don't know yet. We can't confirm that.
I wouldn't mind if he didn't have an EPT.
I mean,
Just
that'd be
having the stats alone is really good.
yeah.
Because then you could run a cheap Falcon with two crew. You can deck it out how you want, and you can do it on the cheap without nerf stats.
Hmm. Also, there's a new Millennium Falcon title.
Yes.
It's YT-1300 only, obviously.
Hmm.
After you execute a 3-speed bank maneuver left or right, if you're not touching another ship and you're not stressed, you may receive 1 stress token to rotate your ship 180. So instead of the evade action, you can do Rey's Segner's loop that she does in the movie.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
you take a stress after this, right?
Uh, after you, let me double check here. After you execute the maneuver.
Yep. So you could totally cheese this
Hmm.
by just taking Kanan. Because
Oh yeah.
Kanan procs when you do a white maneuver, after you execute a white maneuver, you may remove a stress from your ship.
Yeah.
It's any ship at range 1 to 2 once per round. So you do your 3 signers loop, you take the stress, you rip that off with Kanan, do your action. So imagine doing your 3 signers and then boosting.
Basically. Also,
You
you
have
can
like
also do it.
Brobot's maneuverability. That's
You can
terrible.
also Segners onto a rock and flip around if you want,
Yeah, you could.
because
I don't
it's
know why
not.
you want to, but you could.
Let's to keep them in arc, so you get your rerolls.
But then you're on a rock.
Well, yeah, but obviously, like, 'cause that's maybe you didn't expect to be on a rock. I don't know, dude.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
you're the master of flying on rocks here.
Yes,
Um,
I am. I am. Hey,
let's
look.
look at the T-70 pilots.
Oh, well, that's. Oh yeah, let's name those guys off. It's Poe Dameron, obviously, a pilot skill 9
Oh, damn.
for 33 points. Here's the thing: how I feel about Poe. I don't hate it. I'm like, oh, okay, because they're paying you 2 points to make him pilot skill 9
Yeah,
and to keep your EPT open. Whereas with pilot skill 8, you would just give him VI or adaptability.
yeah.
So now your EPT is open for 2 points.
Mhm.
That's not bad. That's not like a terrible thing.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be fine.
I
I
feel
think
like they should have roped it in with the new Black One title.
the pilot skill 9.
The +1 pilot skill.
Oh wait, we didn't talk about the title.
Yeah, well, we can talk about it now because now we're talking
Oh,
about the T-70.
okay, but yeah, I think Poe's fine. I think that's okay thing to do.
I'm not arguing that the pilot card in general is fine. I just wish that they had this Poe Dameron in the first place.
Oh my, yeah, that's fair. That
They could
is
have
fair.
had this in the first place. We could have had a different a PS8
Mm-hmm.
T70. Because now you can't run both the 9 and the 8 because they're both Poe Dameron. They both have the same name. You can't run both of them. So you
Yep,
have
that's
to
true.
choose one, either the 8 or the 9.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas with any other ship, I can take the 9, I could take Wedge and I could take Luke, 9 and 8. Or I could take Wedge and I could take West, 9 and 8.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't do that with the T70.
No, you can't.
However, the art's
Uh,
kind of nice. I'll give it that.
yeah, the art is nice. It's really nice. So Black One, T70 only title. After you perform a boost or barrel roll action, you may remove one enemy target lock from a friendly ship at range 1. You cannot equip this card if your pilot skill is 6 or lower.
So it's essentially 1 point for
Expert
expert
handling.
handling. Yeah.
But when you boost or barrel roll. So
Yeah.
with Poe Dameron, with BB-8 and Push the Limit, he could remove 2 target locks a turn from himself or a friendly ship.
This just encourages you to take BB-8 because right now the big thing with Poe is taking R5P9 because it synergizes way better with his pilot ability.
Yes, it does.
That whole Rebel regen
Hmm.
shenanigans. That just because you're not going to spend the focus anyway because you
Yeah.
hold the focus to
I
turn one to I think it's a hit or an evade,
hit
and
or
then
invade.
you use it with R. You use the focus at the very end with R5P9 to regen a shield.
Yes, you do.
So
So yeah.
what else we got here?
Nia Num is the pilot.
And my homie.
We don't know what he does. Not even a clue. Like when, if you, I
Well,
can't
he's
even read that.
PS7.
PS7, so that's okay. Then you have Snap.
Snap something.
Yeah,
I'm assuming
Snappy.
this is the chubby white guy with the beard. I'm assuming that's
Maybe.
this guy.
Well, he's pilot skill 6,
Hmm.
and he does something after you execute a 4-speed maneuver,
Hmm.
and you may or may not be touching somebody.
Yeah.
So that might be cool.
Now we have Jess. I feel
Jess.
bad for her because she's a PS3. Poor
Yeah,
Jess. She survived too.
she did
Come
survive.
on, come on, Jess. Come on, Fantasy Flight. You could have made her an 8. She had to be a 3. I guess she's green. I don't
Could have
know.
made her 5 even.
Yeah, or a 5. Well, isn't who's a 5 in the core box?
Mm,
Elo's a 7.
Elo's a 7.
So they doubled up with Nia Num. You could have made this. You could have made her
Blue
not a
Ace is
3.
5.
Blue Ace.
But it doesn't matter because they double up on T-70 pilots, so
Yeah.
fuck it.
Yeah.
And then
And
they
it,
got a red squad and a blue squad vet.
Blue Squad vet. Yep. Let's look at these cards.
Hmm.
So it
Uh,
comes with 2 integrated.
Finally.
It
So if you
comes
bought
with.
a corset,
Hmm.
a um, a blister, and now this, you'll have 3 integrated astromechs, and you're done.
Yeah,
Now,
and
but if you're one of those,
you'll have the X wings too. You'll have 3 for 3, so you'll be good. Luigi, hello.
hey,
Uh,
sorry,
I thought I
uh,
lost you there for a moment.
no, I'm here.
All
I
right.
was saying, if you're one of those poor bastards who bought 3 T-70 blisters, I'm sorry.
Well, looks like you're
Oh,
gonna have 5 X wings. Have fun with that.
yeah, yeah.
You get to run Jess and 4 scrubs.
Hmm.
Haha. We got smuggling compartments. Now, the
Hmm.
wording on the card that from we can see from this picture is very interesting. Normally, because it says YT 1300, and then normally you would think it says only, but the letter that's partially cut off looks like an A.
Yes, it
So,
does.
from what I can assume, it could be YT 1300 and YT 2400 modification. It takes up the mod slot, but it gives you the illicit slot.
Hmm.
It looks like there may be some sort of. It says the words that are cut off are you may modification uh,
Costs.
cost squad.
It might be
It might limit your cost to taking something.
I think what it does, because now that I've actually read the card again,
Hmm.
it might let you take a second modification.
Yeah, I think so too. That you could take a second mod that costs like 3 or fewer squad points or two
Something
or
like
fewer.
that, yeah.
So you can't take your engine upgrade, but you can take something else and drugs.
Yeah.
Drugs on the Falcon would be pretty good, I
Drugs
think,
on Ray with rerolling blanks.
because I've always had the situation where I'm like just theory crafting. I'm like, man, I really wish X faction had this other faction's mechanic
And
or something like that.
and here we go.
And here we go. Now we're having that cross faction mechanic sharing where I can give drugs to the Falcon. I can get
Mm,
Han high as a bitch and just roll him up on you or something like that.
yeah. And now we also have
Apparently Ray is a crackhead. I don't know.
I don't know.
Yo, Glit and Crackshot on a Falcon.
Mm,
Have fun.
yeah.
That'd
I
be
think
pretty
the
ridiculous.
bigger deal is the what might be called burst of speed or burst slam.
Something like that.
It's a large ship only
I think it's
illicit.
burst of speed. That sounds better.
It's a large ship only illicit that gives you the slam action,
Mhm.
and it does something after you perform the action.
Yep.
So I guess you keep it, and it could be like 1 or 2 points. But yeah, dude, slam action, maybe take a stress
Come
after
on and
doing it.
slam. See, now we're giving Scum. We already gave Scum cloaking device. For now, we're giving them slam.
Mm-hmm. For large ships, so Houndstooth doing a slam.
Imagine if you had two elicits, cloaking, slamming,
Oh lord, no.
and then I'd also take what's it there? I would take the cloak, I would take the slam, and I would take experimental interface so I could do both.
Get out of here.
Cloaking, slamming, Kirax fighter. That's exactly what we need to bring it on the board. It can't shoot at all. It's just flying around the board like an idiot.
Now, the real winner here is the Houndstooth. So it
Oh,
can
so
do,
slam,
yeah, it slams into
slam
a
tooth,
really long K turn.
slams right into a rock.
Yeah, pretty much.
We also see here a new tech upgrade.
Yeah, there's
Can't really see what that does.
mm-hmm.
We have a new crew, I think, Hotshot Copilot. I think
Yes.
that's what it is. And then we have, I think this is either a crew or an astromech. It starts with an M. I
Yeah.
believe it's Minoc.
It probably is
Minoc
Minoc.
is the astromech of Wedge Antilles, who he got so fed up with had him memory wiped.
I believe it.
He was a very loud droid, not because he beeped and blooped, but because his like average humming noise was like gears grinding.
Oh my god.
And he was a very rebellious droid, like
There's
chopper tier.
mm, there's also what could be called prow thrusters.
Proton thrusters, maybe, I don't know.
Anyway, it could be
Starts with
some
a
kind
P.
of
PR thrust,
yeah.
Peruvian thrust,
Get out of here.
the Po dream, the Peruvian dream, the Peruvian thrust.
Then you got things called
Hmm.
snapshots. It comes with two of them.
I believe it's snapshot, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder what those are. Could be
And
a
trick something.
trick move or something like that. We don't know.
Trickster?
Nah,
Trickster, I think. Trickster sounds like an upgrade.
could be. But yeah, so like we got all these things we're looking forward to now that we'll get maybe next year.
Maybe next year, or maybe by the time Rogue One comes out.
They said by third quarter.
Oh, so we'll see them maybe as early as August.
Could be.
Could be
Probably
early as
not.
August. Well, we don't know
Mm.
because we also have Wave 9 to look forward to. Hopefully, Scum Aces. Hopefully, some sort of Imperial New Order version of this
Mm.
box.
Oh,
Heroes
thank
of
you.
the First Order.
Thank
Uh,
you, Dark Lords of Ska. It's Snap Wexley. Snap
Snap
Wexley.
Wexley. Yep, it's right there.
Yep.
I think he's the chubby guy, right? Can we Google that real quick?
Sure.
Snap Wexley.
He is. Yep. He.
Yep,
That is
that's
him.
him. It's the dude with the chubby face, and apparently he plays X-wing.
Really?
I think so.
I'd be cool.
I think I heard somewhere or I saw somewhere that he played X-wing. I'm not sure, but
That'd be
I think
funny.
this guy's pretty legit.
So he gets to play himself soon.
Yeah, there you go. Welcome
All
to the
right.
game, bro. Here's yourself. All
Yep.
right. So I think
Oof.
we're moving on to our news portion
Oh boy.
of our
There's
cast.
so much stuff. I actually almost cried trying to make this for everybody. So you're welcome
Oh
for
man.
a lot of hard work and
Thank
a
you,
lot of
Luigi, for our
sleepless
news.
nights.
Yeah, we
I
almost couldn't even get you up today.
yeah, I was up till 5 a.m. watching X-Wing streams. It was pretty ridiculous.
What a hard life you lead.
Yeah, basically.
All right, so where do we start?
The system open.
System Open Series.
Yep.
Last week we had a pilot who had participated in Hoth. It was our own Matt Kish, and he took
Mm,
17th at Hoth. And Hoth is kind of like the forerunner for all this. It was the first one. It was here in the
mm,
States at Adepticon, which is apparently, I didn't notice at the time, the biggest like wargaming con of them all.
yeah.
So now we're having these other system open events. We're at Jakku. God forbid Finn was there.
Yeah.
Jakku. This was in France.
It was in I can't pronounce Cusset?
Cousset.
Cousset, France? The
Cousset.
Generation Star Wars and Science Fiction Convention.
Nice.
All right.
And the
So,
French lost.
the French did lose. Let's do it with the top 8 first cuz I'm going to go from bottom up
Oh, you want to lead? You want to lead this up
to the winner. Yes, I
to the
do.
winner.
All right. So, the top 8 included a Whisper Inquisitor pop shuttle list. Do you want me to say the names of the pilots or no?
Let's just pick out the interesting ones because
Okay.
okay, Whisper Inquisitor, a
All
variant
right.
of Palp Aces. All right,
All right. Yeah.
Sooner Inquisitor, Palp Aces.
So the top eight included two Palp Ace lists, three U-boats,
Snooze,
with just three contracted scouts with Deadeye, proton torpedoes, extra
snooze.
munitions,
What's the weird
blah
shit,
blah
man?
blah. Dash and Lothal Rebel was in the top eight. The top four. This is where things get interesting. Not the crack swarm though. There's a crack swarm in the top four. That's not interesting.
Whoop de doo. But what
The
about this
top.
one?
Dengar and Guri.
Dengar,
Yeah, Dengar in the top
Guri,
four of the System Open.
Dengar.
Uh, Dengar was kitted out with Punishing One title.
Okay.
I think Push the Limit Engine Upgrade and maybe Glitter Stim. I didn't get that list, but I'm pretty
Okay.
like how you would kit him out with like K4 security droid and stuff like that. So like very
K4
offensive.
unhinged. So everything's green, so you can
Yeah.
always have the target lock. You always have your 3 dice, 4 dice.
Hmm.
He's a pretty powerful ship.
Yeah.
Pretty expensive because you have to invest the 12 points in the
Oh yeah.
title.
He's like 50 something points.
Yeah,
And
well,
then
fully
his
kitted out, he's like up there.
second choice was Guri, the
Guri!
Star Viper pilot. All right, there's a Star Viper in the top four of the System Open. What is happening?
I think
Uh,
he just got there because it was surprising.
Lone Wolf, Rago, Sensor Jammer, Illicit Cloaking Device, and Auto Thrusters.
So I am a Star Viper that you cannot touch
You will
because
not hit
I am
me.
rolling 5 dodge dice with sensor jammer, with
Yep,
auto thrusters,
and Lone Wolf.
and lone wolf, and I'm on
And a
the other side of the
Focus.
board.
Mm-hmm.
Good luck.
Good luck. Have fun.
And then we have the winner.
Well,
The
we have the runner-up, which is U-boats.
oh, I thought this was the. Oh, okay, yeah. U-boats were the runner-up. Whoop-de-doo. We see them everywhere. They don't win
Yep.
anything, but they get close.
And the winner is Fernando de la Torre. If I butchered your name,
Fernando de la Torre,
thank you.
aka Evil Poe Dameron. Why is he Evil Poe Dameron? Well, he's Spanish as well, and he flew.
Sooner, Palp Shuttle, and
Inquisitor.
the Inquisitor.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
That was the whole joke.
That was the joke.
Yeah. So
Jesus
if you're
Christ.
laughing right now, you have about our same sense of humor.
Please kill yourself. Just kidding. That's my job. Anywho,
Uh,
let's go to the
and
Forest Moon.
I do want to mention one thing about his
All right.
list. It was 98 points. He really wanted
You
initiative.
really wanted that initiative. I can't fit these 2 points.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, the Inquisitor is pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Sooner
Yeah.
Inquisitor, I think you'll be running at about 98 points.
Mm.
Unless you, like, move things around.
Maybe he
give
dropped auto
Palp-
thrusters. Who knows?
I would. Why would you do that? I don't know.
Maybe he really wanted that initiative.
I guess. So let's move on to the Forest Moon of Endor, also known as Warsaw, Poland. I don't know why Poland is Endor and not Hoth, but it's whatever.
Because it was really cold. I don't know. Anyway, Endor, Warsaw, Poland. Let's do the top eight real quick.
All right.
Robots, IG-88, B, and C were in the top
Okay.
eight.
That's cool. Robots are back.
Crack Swarm.
3 black crack with Scourge, Mauler, and Howley.
Yep.
That's an interesting take on the crack swarm.
Yeah, it is. You got like crack aces almost.
I smoke rocks.
Then you have Vader and Hellrunner with three black cracks.
Okay.
So like you had this the ace and the mini crack swarm. I like that. Then you had Sooner and Karner and a Palp Shuttle.
Yep, Royal in Palpmobile.
The top four included another set of robots and Dash with a stress bot and a prototype pilot.
See, that's interesting. We brushed over it, but also at Jakku, you had Dash and a Lothal Rebel.
Yes.
Now you have Dash and a stress pot and a scrub A-wing because I think he needed to fill 15 points.
Yeah. Yes, he did.
But that's interesting. I mean, Dash coming back, pretty good. I can see why it didn't go all the way because LOL auto thrusters.
Yes, yes.
But the stress bot is huge.
Mm,
And then Dash just hammering you.
Yep.
Be pretty good.
The runner-up, J. Miklik, if I pronounced your name wrong, well, that's that.
Something
It was
Polish.
U-Boat, Manaru, and Palab.
Paolo Gadali, one
Yep.
of our
There's a hawk in there.
one of our Hawk pros.
I can see why he did well.
Hmm.
Power up steals focus tokens. Your opponent's gonna hate him.
So like,
Absolutely.
oh hey, I'm going to fire my torps with my Deadeye, and then oh my torps are
Yeah, my torps are
unusable.
gone. Manaru passes tokens to Palop if he needs it, or Contracted Scout if it gets bumped, and you just go to town.
Now, do you know how? I think you mentioned how this Manaru was built. Was this a bump master, or was this a
Uh,
U-boat variant of Manaru?
I can check that right now.
All right,
I have that open, so just give me 1 second. Do 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 do. It was no, it was U-boat.
U-boat. All right.
U-boat.
Very typical. That's how I run my Manaru.
Mm,
I like the U-boat build. I haven't really experimented with the bump masters. We'll
yeah,
talk about that later on
yeah.
because we see bump masters somewhere else.
Palop did have Gonk though.
Gonk.
Yep.
Well, I mean, you're gonna get a free focus anyway, right? You might as well gonk that shield back. And you
Hmm.
only need to gonk once because you
Yeah,
only have one shield.
maybe twice. Well, he does also have Multi Crow.
Yeah, so like your first turn, all right, I gonk, and then I bank my tokens, and then oh, I lost
No,
my
no,
shield.
no.
I'll gonk it
Manaru
back.
feeds some tokens when she doesn't need them.
Oh, that's true. You could just move everything over there too. That's a good point.
Hmm.
That's very interesting.
I like that list actually.
Little like focus bank on a
Yeah.
hawk. They'll never ever use it except for defense.
Hmm.
So
Then
who won?
who won? Oh, right. Peter Kook.
Kook.
I can't.
They got cucked.
Yeah. He
P-
Polish. A
Piter Cuck.
Piter. Oh, Piter.
I
Okay.
don't know. I don't speak Polish.
Hmm.
Good job, Mr. Cuck, for winning with your three ace Palp shuttle.
Yes. Yes.
Another variant on our Palp aces, but this
Mhm.
time there are three TIE fighters.
Yeah. Mega
Ooh,
Leader, Wampa, Inquisitor, along with Palps in the shuttle.
there you go.
Yeah. So yeah, he did well. Good for him.
Good. Well, he won.
Yeah.
He's moving on to Coruscant,
Yes,
where
he
he
is.
gets to fly probably the fire spray because God knows I'm gonna keep pushing that ship
Oh
down
yeah,
his
no,
throat.
guys,
Have fun.
vote for the fire spray,
The Imp fire spray,
the
and
imp
then vote
fire
for like
spray.
a fire spray. Vote for the Star Viper or the Sick for
Mhm.
Scum. Please do us a favor.
Yeah,
Push these terrible ships. Let Fantasy Flight know
and
that
then
these
the
ships are bad.
T65 and the Hawk. Probably,
Yeah,
I want the T65 more actually.
I
Yeah,
think so too.
make the T65 happen, guys.
Because the Hawk had, at least for me, its time in the spotlight with the twin laser
Mm.
turrets.
And also, you can make the Hawk good.
Yeah.
Uh, all right. So now let's move on to the regional championships. Oh my God, there was so many.
Yeah, there was a lot.
I wanted to cry. Um,
So what
you
happened on April 30th?
April 30th, in the Flatland Game Store. Oh my
Wixom,
God.
Michigan.
Yep, in Wixom, Michigan. There was a whole lot of pulp aces. A whole lot of pulp
A
aces.
lot of decimators too. I see at
Yeah,
least two
decimators.
here. Three
So
here.
so in the top eight there was two pulp aces, one triple imp aces, a crack ace swarm actually. I'm just gonna name
Something
that.
like that,
Yeah,
yeah.
Mega Leader, Hellrunner, Zeta Leader, Dark Curse, and Mauler Mythal.
I
That's
was looking at Howlrunner, Scourge Mauler, Backstabber, Wampa, and Black Crack.
yeah, that's also
So
in
there's two weird
two weird crack aces.
crack
Then you
swarmed, yeah.
then you have Chopper and Chewbacca.
The super wow.
Yeah,
So the ghost chopper rolls up on you,
bumps into people.
bumps into you, hits you with your auto blasters, I assume.
Yep, and Chewbacca just dizzy.
Stands
And
there like a Wookiee.
then you had Vader and the Pulp Decimator, and then another. Oh, there were three.
I didn't even see Vader
Aces.
and Palp Desi because we see three Whisper Palp Desis. So like this is a throwback to last year
Yeah.
when that was a thing. Minus, no wait, one of them was a Doom Decimator.
Yes, yes. I'll get to
One
that.
was a throwback. The other two have Palp.
Hmm.
What
So,
else do we got here?
Kanan Miranda was in the top eight, along with Han and Poe.
All right.
And the runner-up was Jeff Burling with Dengar and Manaru. See, Dengar's good. You just need
Dengar,
to know how to play him.
I guess Dengar seems good, right?
Yeah,
He,
the
he
double
he
tap's
can get
real.
up there. He can't bring it home, just like in the movies. He can't bring it home, but he can get close.
That's rude.
I mean, also we see here in the top eight mind-linked robots.
Oh yes,
Mentalk the Mind Taker
yeah,
over
Mind Link
here.
robots. That was pretty neat. I wanted to mention that.
Did you see it?
Uh, I did not see it personally.
Okay.
They didn't have a stream,
Oh.
but it was pretty neat.
Okay.
From the list, from the website I got it from.
All right. What else we got?
The winner, Philip Horny, won with Whisper and Pulp and a Decimator.
So one of the four variants in the top eight of
Yep.
Decimator. That's a very interesting meta to have out there in Michigan in the flatlands. Apparently the Decimator does pretty good where it's flat.
I can't imagine why.
Yeah, right. Oh, there's no terrain here. I'm good.
Good.
All
I was
right.
just fly around.
Good job, Mr. Horny.
If
Uh, good job. All right. What do we got
next up,
next? Tusla, Oklahoma.
Covenant Tusla, which is the home of Team Covenant, if I remember correctly.
Hmm. Oh, we only
Uh,
have the winner list here.
we only have the winner because they just I don't know. There wasn't a lot of publicity as for. I mean, they're probably talking about it on their podcast,
Maybe.
maybe. So anyway, the winner we have is Gene Hoggle, which is Howlrunner Wampa and four black cracks.
Nice.
Hmm.
Crack Swarm is up there.
Yeah,
It's
Crack
a,
Swarm's
it's a
popular.
meta. New
Meta
meta.
indeed.
What
Alright.
else?
Uh, May
May
1st.
1st, which was last week.
Yes.
Last Sunday.
This was all last week, so like how many regionals was that? Like four? Five.
This is the last one for last week.
Alright,
So I think it was like
there was three
four.
last week.
Something like that.
Anyway.
This
Um,
oh man.
yep.
This is the UK.
Milton Keynes,
Oh.
UK, War Games Workshop.
Oh
Uh,
man. What do the Brits have for us?
and the top eight, we only have some of the top. Oh, no, we have all the top eight. Okay. So, Tom Reed was flying
Alright.
a Bump Master and two contracted scouts. A Bump Master, for those of you who don't know, either has intimidation or adaptability, uh, intel agent, anti-pursuit lasers, and maybe something else, usually not really. Not that I can remember off the top of my head. Basically, the idea is this guy flies in, makes all of your ships crash into it. Their agility gets lowered. They proc the anti-pursuit lasers. They take a damage, and then the other two U-boats, the
Oh,
two,
they're U-boats, the other two.
yeah, the other two are U-boats, and they throw torpedoes into the reduced agility damage dude, and he dies.
Wow. I mean, not for nothing,
Hmm.
but the British have had a long-standing naval tradition going back to the 1500s, 1600s, where they took down the Spanish Armada. They were the naval empire of the world. They had like the best navy for years, and now they have been reduced to just ramming you.
Hmm.
Good job, Britain.
Yeah, the other top
Well
eight
done.
was also a bump master.
Same goddamn list.
Yeah, basically. Uh, oh no, that was top 16. Those two, I'm sorry.
Are they?
Yeah, those two were top 16.
Oh,
The other
good
top
job.
eight, the top eight was a crack swarm. Uh, the top four was pop aces.
Mm-hmm.
Then in the top four, you had another bump master,
Bumperoo.
bump Manaroo with two U-boats.
All
The
right, good
runner-up
job.
was three U-boats, and the winner was eventually Bumperoo with two contracted scouts.
Good job, man.
So there was still a
You
lot.
showed us by ramming us like an idiot. All right, well, it won, so
It did
I
win.
I mean, I would not want to play in the British meta.
Hmm.
Not to
Oh,
flame them, but
yeah.
Jesus Christ, why?
Yo, Zeph, wait.
Yo.
I know where all the German U-boats went. They went
Oh.
across the channel.
To England. It's the Blitz.
Yeah, they're
Oh
sinking
no.
the UK regionals,
Disastrous.
and we found out they sunk another UK regional. I think.
Oh, did they?
We'll talk about that in a minute.
All right. So what do we
Uh,
have? We have Sweden. Skellefla.
we don't
Sweden. Oh,
actually.
you
They have
don't?
no info.
Oh, well, it happened.
It happened.
It happened. We have no information, probably because it's in Swedish, and we don't speak that language.
We do have the other Swedish regional for some reason.
Oh, we do. In Linkoping.
Yeah, that's the seventh though. So we'll talk about that later.
All right. So, well, we're on the seventh now. So let's go.
Yep.
I guess the Netherlands first.
Yeah. You.
Utrecht, the land of windmills and marijuana cigarettes.
Mm,
What do we have here?
uh, we have a lot of information actually. Most of this information was provided by forum user Toby W. Thanks
Thank
to
you,
him.
Toby W, for all this information. I
Mm,
hope the joint was nice.
mm,
You spent all your time writing this down. Thank you.
yes. Yep.
So what do we
He
got?
actually made some nice graphs. I don't have those on me. So faction breakdown for this. There
Hmm.
was 5 rebel lists in the top 32. There was 13 imperialists in the top 32, and 14 scum lists in the top 32.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you're either playing a crack swarm, you're either playing jump
No,
masters, you're either playing.
not a crack swarm.
Well, I'm just saying,
Yeah.
if given the spread, you are
Yeah.
probably playing crack swarm, you're
Mhm.
probably playing palp aces, you're probably playing imp aces, or you're probably playing some sort of U-boats or some sort of robots.
Mhm.
Am
Uh,
I generally correct?
Generally, there is an exception though.
What's the
I'll get to
exception?
that. All right. So let's. He even broke down the list archetypes for us
Okay.
too. So really, thank you, Toby. Um, the list breakdown for Scum. They had 5 U-boat lists,
Okay.
2 robots, and 7 mixed Scum.
Mixed scum, meaning anything
Like,
that's terrible.
yeah. Then you had for Imperials 7 Pulp Aces, 4 Imp Aces, 2 Mixed Imperials, which are not swarms.
So mixed Imperials that are not swarm
Yep.
and not palp aces. So that's probably like Whisper Desi or I don't know. Apparently there was a mini swarm of TIE bombers.
Yes, there was. That was the one of them. And then for Rebels, you had 2 Ghosts and
T-
3 Mixed Rebels.
Two spooky ghosts
Yeah.
and three rebels that are trying their hardest but failed.
And the major note here is there was not a single TIE swarm in the top 32.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So they just no swarms
No
period. Just
swarms, no
they
crack
didn't
swarm.
exist. They
I,
did not exist.
well, I mean, the Netherlands are known for their weed, not their crack. So I guess there's no crack over there.
I mean, that's true.
I guess
There was a bomber mini swarm though. I don't know what that
that
was
guy
about.
was lit. If you're flying bomber mini swarm right now, man, you are lit.
Good for him though.
Good job, man.
All right.
All right,
So
so what are the notables?
the notables. In the top 16, Bosk Drew Manaru. I thought that was cool.
Oh, really?
Flown by Kevin. Yeah.
What is it? Bosk,
Nidru.
Bosnadru, Matt. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I disagree with the Z, but I guess you don't have enough points.
Mm-hmm.
We were flying the Drew. Isn't he
Actually,
like the
I can
like?
check that list right now. I'll tell
Yeah,
you what
I
that Nidru
mean,
had.
I don't know.
Let me find him. So that was Kevin. So it was Drew. Oh, he loaded him up.
Oh no, that's disastrous.
Drew, Glitter Stem, Deadeye, Guidance Chips, Concussion Missiles.
And that's why you're top 8 and not top 1.
Top
Because you.
16, actually.
Oh, that's why you're top 16 and not. That's because you're flying a
Yeah.
Z95. Good
Bosk had
job.
Crackshot, Dengar, Zuckus, and Forlom.
Wait, boss. What?
Yeah. He had
Repeat that.
Bosk had Crackshot, Dengar, Zuckus, and Forlom.
Okay. Crackshot, Zuckus, Dengar,
Forlom.
Forlam. Okay.
And then
That's
Manaru
weird.
was U-Boat with Boba Fett.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's very weird, but alright, I guess. I
Mm.
guess I'll take it.
the
All right.
other interesting list was flown by Eric Verdigal. I'm gonna read this to you.
Mhm.
And okay, so contracted scout. It's a U-boat
You
with
vote.
overclocked.
With
A
overclock.
Trandoshan slaver with Dengar. A cartel marauder. And a Binari pilot with guidance chips and concussion missiles.
Cartel Marauder. That's the Kirax.
Yeah, that was.
Why? What are you doing? All
So
right,
he had.
these guys really just rolled up on their regionals high as fuck, right? Because they're flying the C95s kitted to the teeth. They're flying Kiraxes, a Trandoshan slaver with Dengar.
Mm.
Okay, all right, all
All
right.
right. So in the top 8,
Well,
there was Den-
I wanted to note that this gel guy had Karner, Inquisitor, and Echo. That's pretty interesting.
actually
That's an
yeah, that is.
interesting take on your imp aces.
Hmm.
And so now we go into the people who showed up sober.
Well, you say that. In the top eight, we had Pulp Aces list. We had another Pulp Aces list. Three U-boats and Dengar and Contracted Scout.
Wait, who is this? Oh,
Uh, Mark
Mark
Van der
Bennett.
Zanden.
Well, we were going on with Dengar earlier. Might be good. I mean,
Yeah,
Dengar's not necessarily bad. You just gotta
he
know
made him
how
a
to
U-boat with the title.
fly him. Well, there you go. So Dengar fucking U-boats twice.
Yeah,
I hit you with two torps.
and then I
Goodbye.
have a 3 dice at primary.
Yeah, there you go. That
Yeah,
seems pretty good.
I can see that. Then in the top four, two Brobots.
Nice.
Just two
These
Brobots. That's
guys
it.
obviously sober, knew what they were doing, didn't pick weird stuff. Not disciples of Ouija over here. Pretty good. Seems good.
I think one of those U Brobots was actually kitted the same way as the German one. That one, their German. Yeah, it was.
Oh, really?
With one of them had Mangler, and they both had advanced sensors instead of FCS,
Yeah,
and they
that's
both
an
had
interesting
Predator.
take. That's an interesting
That's the
take.
same one as the Germans did.
Hmm. That might be the German guy.
Yeah.
That might be
Ah,
him. I don't know.
I don't think so.
I mean, we can go back to our first episode and find out, but
Yeah.
that's whatever. So who
Yeah.
won?
The runner-up was Jelt with the Pulp Aces,
Palp
and then the
Sooner,
winner was
loser.
Matthias Lem with three U-boats.
Oh boy,
Yay!
U-boats chilling out in the waters of the Netherlands.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely. So that guy, the people running the robots, the people running the Palp Aces, the people running
Z95.
the contracted scouts, obviously sober. Guy who ran Boston, Drew Manaru, high as a bitch, laughing his ass the entire time. Good job,
I
Kevin.
mean, he did top 16, so
Oh,
like,
we got something out of it, right?
yeah. All right. Oh, there was actually two more lists that we forgot to mention in the top 16, which don't matter because
Oh,
Vader, Karner, Sooner, and three U-boats. But
okay.
there you go. All right.
Those guys were sober and just didn't make it.
They couldn't do it.
They couldn't do it. I guess they needed some weed. I guess. I don't know. Thanks, Netherlands. So we're back to Sweden.
Yep.
Linkoping.
The store is called Lincoln, or I I don't know if it's a store or where the venue was. Anyway, so they had 57 players.
All right, that's pretty good. That's a good showing.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Their top eight had Dash with two TLT Y-Wings, uh, triple Imp Aces, a Pulp Aces, and actually two Pulp Aces.
I'm sorry.
Uh, it was
I
two
see it
Pulp,
here.
yeah, two Pulp Aces,
Two
uh,
Palp Aces.
triple Imp Aces, and then the Dash with two TLT Y-Wings was the
Dash
top eight of
TLTY.
the Swedish regional.
Sorry about that. Twitch chat got me a little preoccupied.
Okay.
But yeah, the dash and two TLTs. That's a throwback to last meta. Good job making it into the top eight. But obviously, new meta greater than old meta.
Mm-hmm.
Triple imps, Palp Aces, Bump Master. This guy was taking the page out of the British naval book
Yes,
of.
yes, he was.
And then we
Big
have, what
T.
is this? Kanan Big Stress Hog.
Yeah, yeah. It was, I guess, Stress Bot, Y-Wing, Biggs, and Kanan and the Ghost.
Spooky Ghost. Do we have any like details on that one? Or
Do
no?
not, do
Well,
not.
that's very interesting. A
Mm,
Kanan Biggs build. I mean, Kanan could make Biggs live a really long time because his pilot ability doesn't it extends to other pilots.
yeah.
It's
So
not necessarily relegated to him. So Biggs has to be shot. Kanan spends that focus. Probably I would take recon on Kanan
yeah, no,
personally,
definitely. That's probably
especially
what
with
he did.
Biggs. So like, oh, you have to shoot at Biggs. All right, reduce your attack by one. Here's a
Yep.
focus. Here's another focus for the next shot.
Yeah. Now get out
Something
of
like
here.
that.
Pretty
Um,
good.
and then the winner,
Is Johan Larson with Dash and a Lothal
Lothal
Rebel.
Rebel. That's cool. And as far as we know here, this is an interesting fact. I believe down here at Linkoping, Sweden, this was the only regional throughout this entire stint. And I think, with the exception of the two Green A's, this is the only regional that Rebels won.
I'm pretty sure that's correct.
with the exception of those two Green A, the one in
Mm,
New Mexico and I think Rochester.
yeah. I mean, these are the only. There's two regionals we don't know about. Um, but yeah, that's the only places that Rebels have won, and that's something to
That's
really
something.
sober about. Like if you're a Rebel player,
Rebels are out,
it
scum
is
are
really
in.
difficult to
Get
win.
higher.
Like these guys had to fly really, really well. As far as information goes, I will, if you want, I can post links and stuff
Yeah,
for all my
post in Twitch
sources.
chat the sources
Yep,
for those who we have an inquiring mind where our sources come from. They come from the Fantasy Flight forum.
forums. Yep,
They're under
Major
the
Juggler.
X-wing subthread. There's a regional reports and a system open reports. It
Mm,
is done by a major juggler. Doesn't he work for Nova or something like that? I'm not
I'm
sure.
pretty sure.
Well, kudos to him. Thank you for giving us all this news so we could shout
Yeah.
out to those here listening in the Outer Rim
Uh-huh.
who
A
don't.
lot of the sorry.
No, it's all good.
A lot of the information from today, well, the yesterday's regional, I was up late at night watching these streams happen,
God
getting that
forbid.
info. So,
At least these regionals are now streaming it.
yeah. Actually, of the friggin' 7 regionals that were happening yesterday,
Hmm.
only 3 of them were streaming.
Really?
Yeah, that was really annoying.
No, at least you got to watch something,
Oh
right?
yeah, no, definitely. I got to interact with some of them too. They're pretty cool guys.
That's cool. Well, X-wing players hopefully are following the mantra of fly casual. I
Oh
know
yeah.
there's a person or two that really like took up that mantle recently threw that off. I'm not gonna mention names,
Mm,
but generally flying casual is the thing.
mm-hmm.
So what do we
Actually,
got next, or what do you want to
let's see.
talk
We
about?
just did Sweden.
Hmm.
Fresno, California, the Crazy Squirrel game store.
Crazy Squirrel down in
That's the home
Fresno.
of Minox Squadron, actually.
Minox Squadron.
Or at least they were
Cool.
there in force. You could hear
Okay.
them in the background.
Were they
Uh,
calling like Minox? Do Minox? No, they screech, right? I
they
believe
there were some fun
Minox
comments. There's
screech.
a quote I want to say, but like,
Well, I'm talking about the actual creature from Star
oh,
Wars. I
okay.
think they screech, right?
Yeah.
All right. So what do we got here? What
Uh,
is this?
yeah.
This is an interesting regional. Top eight.
No.
Wes Kean Biggs.
Mm-hmm. It was actually let me get that was the runner up. So the top 8 had Jeff W playing Wes Jansen, Kean, and Biggs.
That's interesting. Kean Farlander, a B wing.
Yeah,
A
there's a
B
B
wing in
wing.
a tight. That's interesting. We don't see B wings because
Mm,
they suffer from B wing syndrome. They're good lion ships. They can pump a lot of
mm.
damage, but
They're
uh,
just
they're
expensive.
expensive for the soak
Yep, and the lack of
and
agility really
the
hurts them.
lack of agility and really the lack of maneuverability that they can really
Mm.
offer. I mean, they have the
Uh,
2K turn, but like they're hard to read, and the
mm,
G1A suffers from a similar syndrome.
yeah.
They're tanky, but they can't survive on their own. So you fly them in swarms, like the 4BZ or 4 accurate Bs, but then
Mm.
you have 4B wings, and then they get trounced. They get like arc dodged by aces,
Oh yeah,
or big ships out firepower them, out tank them. Big ships, especially with 2 dodge dice. So if you don't have modifiers, if you're running like 4BZ and you have no modifiers because you're barrel rolling all over the place, you're gonna have a bad time.
definitely. Um, so next up is James B. He won against Jeff. He was playing
Okay.
Inquisitor Vader Omega Leader. He
Okay.
won, but had to actually drop because of personal reasons.
Oh well.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
hopefully everything's with him is okay.
Well, at least he made the top four. He gets those swanky dice, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Good on you,
Uh,
man. That's all. I mean, that's what I could hope for. Swanky
mhm.
dice.
The other top 4 was Paul Pior,
Really?
Captain Yor with Palpatine, Omega Leader, and Whisper.
And Whisper.
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
interesting.
hmm
And then we have
Then
this guy.
then you have the runner-up, Ron M, with 3 contracted
This
scouts.
guy. And then
They
who
were
won?
who won? Dallas.
A guy named Dallas.
Yep, with Cracksworm that included Zeta Leader and Wampa.
That's cool.
Yeah. I was watching that match up until like 5 a.m. here. For
Who?
them, it was like probably 2 or 3.
Oh,
So they got to the table. They were like, "I am so tired," and what was it? Dallas flipped all his dials, like all his scrub dials at once. And he's like, "Wait, oh, is that okay?" And your opponent's like, "Yeah, dude, I don't care."
Well, that's
Like
what
you could
happens at the
just,
end of the day. I mean, like technically you're not supposed to, but like it's the end of the day. It's a top table.
yeah, no, they were both done. They're like, "Yo,
You're
does it
done.
matter?" And they're like, "No, it doesn't matter." And it was like it was the most fly casual I've ever seen at a
That's
top
good.
table. So I mean, shout out to both of them.
That's good.
Yeah.
So my Nox Squadron was in force.
Yep.
Apparently the weirdest list was two Sigmas
And a
and
bounty hunter.
bounty hunter.
Yeah.
What's the bounty hunter?
It's a fire spray, Gus.
Oh, it's the
Yeah,
generic fire
it's generic
spray.
fire spray
I
with two
wouldn't know that
sigmas.
because I never fly the Imperial generic fire spray at all.
Yeah, the sigmas had intelligence agent and
Wait,
stinging particle.
those are the Phantoms.
Yes, they are.
Oh my lord.
So that was the weirdest list.
Do you know like I'm assuming that guy washed out pretty low.
I think so. They
Ah,
were just short of 60 players.
well, that's good.
Yeah.
Good showing. Good showing.
Mm-hmm.
And now we have what? Oh, the
Yes.
one before we move on,
Mm-hmm.
I did see something a very interesting. Since we saw Kian here,
Mm-hmm.
it's a very interesting build just for one ship, and it took me back to my childhood. It's called Kian and Kyle. So kind of like Keenan and Kel.
Oh my God.
It's Kian Farlander and Kyle Katarn. And you just thinking of music. Ah, here it goes. Who loves orange soda? Kyle Katarn loves orange soda. Is it true?
You can't see it, but I'm
Oh
like
my
my.
God, kill me now. All
Oh
right.
God, yeah. Let's go on.
West Melbourne, Florida.
uh,
I think it's in the
get
Panhandle,
your
right?
fun on. I was also watching that stream, interacting with those. Wait, was I? No, I wasn't. Okay.
Okay.
Well, I watched the recordings for them. So the top 16, we don't have all the lists for that.
Okay.
But we do have some fun facts.
Fun
Uh,
fact.
there were two matches to conventional draws. One in round 5 Swiss, one in round 6. They only cut, however, to top 8, which is important when I'm going to tell you what happens next.
Here
The
it
people who
goes.
took in round 5, Gage and Travis, they took it in round 5, not because they wanted to secure their spot, because it's round 5. You don't know if you're going to make it or not.
Mm-hmm.
But they were just buddies. Like, they were like, I don't want to
They're
verse
like
you.
from the same store, right?
Yeah.
See,
They don't
that's
want
how ID should be done. So, like, if me and you are in a regional,
to.
right, and we see each other at the table, I think, why not just ID it? Just, all
Hmm.
right, let's go get a soda,
Yeah.
have
And
a smoke,
they didn't
chill
want to
out.
knock each other out of the because they knew if one of them lost, they would have definitely had no chance.
Yeah.
So they were like, you know what, let's just not do this right now.
Did one of them
Yeah.
actually make it up there or no? Did they
They
both
both
wash
made
out?
it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
So there you go. Find your buddy, ID with him in round 5, better off.
Ah,
Because
come on.
the next ID is
Oh.
Clowny, and this guy
So
kind of deserves it, but
Jeremy Robinson.
mm-hmm.
I don't know. Actually, I don't want to say names. Shit.
Well, too
Anyway,
late.
too late.
You've been
And
named.
Adam, they took an ID in round 6.
Mm-hmm.
I guess poor Jeremy thought, hey, it's round 6. They'll cut to cop 16. I'll be good. I'll get in. Unfortunately, there
JK.
weren't enough people, so they had to cut to top 5. Top 8,
Top
sorry.
8.
Top 8. And Jeremy was the ninth seed.
Oh no.
So in this case,
That's
if he had
disastrous.
won his match, he would have been in.
Oh, you should have played the game, bro. That's what you're there for, to play the
Poor
game.
guy. I bet he was not happy about that.
All right. Well, mistakes are made. You'll learn,
Mm,
and IDs aren't going to be a thing after this regional season anyway.
mm.
So, oh well.
Oh
He
well.
doesn't even get the swanky dice.
No
That
dice for him.
sucks. All right.
Yep.
So let's any weird stuff in these top 8 lists.
Crackswarm, U-boat, your PAL bases, U-boat, PAL bases.
Halab and 2 scouts.
Yeah.
First
Oh,
round by this
yes,
guy.
Scott had a first round bye, and he ran Palab with 2 contracted scouts, which makes sense. You bring your own U-boats and the counter U-boats, or token stacking people in
Yeah, he
general.
just doubled down on the
Yeah,
U-boats.
yeah, it worked. Got him to runner-up. The winner though is Palp Aces.
with OL and Wampa.
Yep, and Inky.
Oh no, oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
the
the triple
triple
aces.
ace. Because you're running Omega and Inquisitor, you can
Mhm.
afford Wampa.
Yeah, 14 points, dude.
hmm
It works.
So now we have the Fantasy Flight Game Center, but we have no information on that because Fantasy
Actually,
Flight is
we
secretive.
do
Oh, we do?
live updates. The top four
hmm
is 3 Palp Aces and a 5-ship Rebel build, which is Biggs, 2 Bandits, and 2 T-70s.
Two Bandit. So, wait, Biggs walks the dog?
Yeah, with T-70s.
Top four.
Top four.
Huh. That's interesting.
They lost though.
Oh. And it was three Palp Aces, you said?
Yeah.
Oh. Uh, oh. Oh, he
Yeah.
got the top four. He got the swanky dice.
Yeah.
So if you're out there and you run Biggs Walks the Dog, fret not. You can get yourself some swanky dice.
Yeah.
So long as that's all you care about.
hmm
Don't expect to win.
Next up, we have Martinsburg, West Virginia, your hobby place.
It's not
Uh,
my hobby place. It's your hobby place.
it's your hobby
No,
place.
it's your
Anyway,
hobby place.
uh, there were 67 people here with 6 drops.
Lovely.
Uh, the runner-up, we only have the runner-up and the winner. Steve Dodd running Zuckus and 2 contracted scouts.
Isn't he a congressman, or am I thinking of somebody else?
I don't know why a congressman would be playing X-wing, but you know,
Probably not.
probably not.
He ran Zuckus, so I mean, if he is a congressman, he's running the right faction.
Yep.
Welcome to the crew, son. Oh
Okay.
man. All
All
right.
right. I think his Zuckus had Gunner and FCS. I think maybe I'm thinking of someone else, but anyway, I really liked it.
Mhm.
Then
Wait,
he
did you watch this one?
um no, I didn't actually.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, Duncan Howard was the winner with Sooner Inquisitor and Palpatine in your shuttle.
Okay.
Yeah. Your place, your shuttle. All right. That's that.
Canada.
Canada.
Canadian X-wing.
Yep.
Canadian X-wing. What do we
Calgary,
got?
Alberta. The Century Box. They were streaming it. It was a lovely stream. Um, fun. There were 46 people.
Now I have to ask, and you watched the stream.
Mm.
How polite were they?
Very polite.
Very polite.
Very polite. They were
Canadian
very
X-wing.
interactive with the stream too. Like I was talking with them a lot.
That's cool.
Yeah. Um. One of them actually dropped. He went I think 0-2 in the first 2 rounds,
Okay.
and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna help with the stream now.
Nice.
So he drops, but that's okay. He was very
Like, well, I'm
entertaining.
out anyway, so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna be a friendly guy on
All right.
Twitch.
Yeah, it was cool.
Let's meme it up. All right, so what do we got here? Top four.
Top 4. We got the top 4. First up is Nick with Crackstorm, including Zeta Leader. That's a really popular thing I've noticed. Zeta Leader in the Crackstorm.
That's the guy who you take the stress, you roll the additional die, right?
Yep.
Seems good.
Yeah. And then the other top 4 was, this is my favorite list.
You are retarded.
This is my favorite list I've seen.
How did this make sense? Canada, Canadian X-wing. What are you doing? What are you doing?
It's a ruthless freelancer
Please
with
stop.
the title Torko with TLT Tactician
Please stop.
and 4 Benari pilots,
Please
4
stop.
Z95s.
Now I actually have a similar build. The
Mm.
Ruthless Freelancer is the G1A. I have a
Mm.
similar build, but instead of the terrible Z95s, I replace them with dorsal hog Y-wings, and they do okay, but they suffer from I just get owned by big ship syndrome.
Mm.
Like
But
if somebody rolls up with robots, it's a really uphill match.
I just really like it.
You are retarded. Please don't fly this.
I'm gonna try it.
Please stop.
It's because the freelancer Torko's a dude to 0. The freelancer reduces the agility with the
Tractor beam.
and then you've got 4 Z95s.
And then they all miss because they're Z95s. And then they all die because they're Z95s.
Yeah.
At least the Y-Wings can survive a little longer
Mhm.
than,
All right.
not.
Okay. Sorry, that's just a really fun list. I want to give him props for that.
That's all right. I mean, yeah.
It's just a cool list. All right, so then the runner-up was Ian
Ian.
with a Bump Master a hired gun, Palop, and Kato.
Do you know
Uh,
how he had his hired gun?
yes, with this I remembered this because I had to make a note of it. It was TLT with the BTLA 4 title.
Oh, so it's a TLT hog. Nice.
Yes, Palop had TLT and something else, maybe adaptability.
Mm,
And Kato also had adaptability. So did the Monk Master, not intimidation.
yeah.
Kato also had adaptability and tracer threads.
Yeah, that's cool.
So
Um,
here's how it worked. He
I don't know.
could
I don't know about the. I don't know about Kato though. I don't know
it's
about
16 points.
Z95s.
16 points.
Well, it's still 16 points I could put elsewhere,
So
like
he
not a
downshifted
Z95.
everyone or upshifted them to pilot skill 4, and he would fly at like he would just bump into you.
It just run at you.
He'd just run at you. He'd slam into you. The APLs on the bump master would do damage, while the TLTs would hammer away. Palab would steal focus tokens, and it was actually pretty something. It was terrifying to verse if you didn't set up against it properly.
Yeah.
'Cause then you just get
If you have
owned.
a bad start, you
I
just get
saw him
wrecked.
play against people. I saw him actually verse Pulp Ace's list in the top 8.
Well, yeah. Well, I can imagine it, right? So
Mm-hmm.
you just roll up on them.
Mm-hmm.
The hired gun gets at range 2. The bump master stops the aces from going anywhere. You eat them
Mm-hmm.
because you have no mods.
Definitely.
So that's pretty good. I don't know about the Kato. I don't know about the Z95. Um, I guess.
Yeah. And then the winner
Hmm.
was another crack swarm, but this time it had 2 Omega Squadron pilots and 3 Black Squadrons instead of the Zeta Leader Black Squad.
Yeah.
So 7 ships. Wait, 6? No, 6 ships. Yeah, 6 ships
6 ships.
versus.
Yeah.
Yep.
Poor Black Crack. Two all.
Yeah.
Two
Paul won
Omegas.
that.
Paul. Just Paul.
Yeah,
Not
Paul.
Paul Heaver. Not
No,
Paul
just
Memer.
just
Just
just a
just
guy
just
named
Paul.
Paul.
Good job, Canada Paul.
Canadian Paul.
Canadian Paul. Good job for
Uh,
defeating weird lists.
I watched that match.
Hmm.
Oh man, I was like, so they had set up the terrain, right? The asteroids.
Yeah.
So everything was shifted towards the right. Like all the asteroids were on the right, except for one.
Hmm.
So
So it's the U-boat stream because
yeah,
everything's on the right.
uh,
Well, no, it's who's right.
it was the Storm players right, and the
Swarm
U-boats
players, right?
left.
Oh, so it's a giant wall. All right.
Yeah. So here's what happened. The Ian had initiative, and he kept it because
Hmm.
he wanted to shoot first with his pilot skill 4 dudes.
Yep.
But instead of upgrading his 5s to 6,
Yeah.
he downshifted them to 4, which proved really important later on because of simulfire with the Black Squadron pilots and the Omega squads.
Okay.
So what happened there is he set up so he could like fly straight through the straight around the rocks and come around to the right. And Paul was like, "I'm not jousting you. I'm going to make you joust me over here in the open space." So he set up all the way in the open space. So Ian had to decide whether or not to make him come through the rocks or
Go through the rocks himself, right?
no, fly into open space against the swarm.
Oh, right. Either stay in the rocks and make him come to you,
Yep.
or play into the advantage of the swarm, which is wide open space.
Yes,
Cool.
and
That's
he
good.
jousted the swarm in space.
Well done. So wait, who downshifted? Who
Uh,
downshifted what?
Palab and Kato downshifted to 4.
Okay, but
So
why?
against the, it was. I think he wanted them to all maneuver the same, but in this case,
I would
I
have
would have
not.
I would have upshifted honestly to get them to kill the ties before they shot.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah.
why would you risk simulfire with crack swarm?
Hmm.
That
Well,
why would you just
he
risk simulfire if you
he
don't
did
have
pay
to?
for that, and then he jousted the swarm in open space.
And died for it, right?
Yeah, he lost a contracted scout, and it did not go well from there.
No, because that's kind of like the linchpin, right?
Mm-hmm.
is just having that bump master set up.
Because it's a huge base ship.
Yeah.
Once that
And
was gone, the crack swarm was like, all right, next target, next target, next
yep.
target.
Oh hey, there's a Y-wing. Oh hey, there's Kato. It's
Mm-hmm.
a Z95. Get him.
Oh,
Oh
Palom had a
hey,
cloaking
Pella.
device.
All right. So sneaky Hawk,
Yeah, I just
sneaky
remember that.
sneaky sneaky and dead.
Mm.
All right. And we have this last one, which is, I think it's happening today.
It just happened.
Just happened.
Oh
Reykjavik,
no, 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 Cardiff, Cardiff. Like I
Cardiff.
just got it. Yeah, Cardiff.
Oh, I thought we were moving on to the 8. I forgot about
Uh,
Cardiff. Let's
Yeah.
talk about Britland again.
Mm.
Cardiff, UK, Firestorm Games.
Yep. Uh,
What was there? U-boats.
U-boats actually. Like let me look at the
The
top 8.
Germans just
Actually
rolled up.
no. The top 8 only included one U-boat. Hang on. I'm talking about the top 8, not the top 4.
Yeah.
So the top 8, the last 4 had one U-boat, Whisper and Palpatine and Kenkirk, Kanan and the Ghost, and a Lothal Rebel, I'm sorry.
hmm
And then a Whisper Inquisitor Omega Leader list.
Yeah, but we can we kind of consider that irrelevant because
Yes.
the top 5 out of the top 8 were all
U-boats.
U-boats.
Every single one of them was a U-boat.
Top 4 was U-boats, and then you had another U-boat in reserve in the top 8.
Yeah, so Luke won that with
Luke,
U-boats. So
got company.
again, the UK is being sunk by U-boats.
They're drowning in Germans.
Yeah, their regionals are being sunk
You
by
think the
U-boats.
immigration crisis is about uh, people coming from Turkey, Syrians and Iraqis coming from Turkey into Europe?
No,
No, it's Germans coming to the shores of Britland,
sinking the regionals with U-boats.
sinking
Yeah.
your regionals with U-boats. Good job.
Oh
Well
goodness.
done. And then we have Reykjavik, Iceland.
Well, we don't have any info
The
on that.
Nexus,
Yeah.
which I guess we'll talk about next week.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week because yeah,
I think that's it for our
that is it.
regional
Oh my
discussion,
dude,
our tournament discussion. A lot of tournaments, a lot of
so many
regionals.
this weekend.
This was like Super Saturday.
I almost collapsed from exhaustion, straight up, just
Yeah, I
from
know. We were having a hard time waking you up to get you on the
yes.
show.
I needed to sleep, otherwise I would not be here or alive.
All right.
Goodness.
So before we go,
Well, no, we got two more things to talk about.
what?
The well,
Yeah, I
what?
know. Well,
Okay,
that's the before we go.
okay.
So before we go, we want to mention that next week, next Saturday, May 14th, is the Brothers Grimm Regional out here in the Outer Rim, Selden, Long Island, New York. Unfortunately for me and Jedi Luigi here, we will not be participating.
Nope.
However, be we will be
Shoutcasting.
shoutcast. We will be casting live from the store. Our production. We will be in partnership with Gen Game, Twitch TV .com slash or no, it's twitch.tv slash Gen Game. Get that
Yep.
URL right. They're our production. They'll be on
hmm
their stream. We're gonna try and have it also on our stream. That's not a sure thing yet.
hmm
We're still in talks with production. At the very least, you can catch the entire regional.
hmm
I believe the first table, or at least the first 2 tables, up on Gen Game. Follow them, Gen Game, Twitch TV /Gen Game. We will be casting me and Jedi Luigi live from the Outer Rim territories.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be loads of fun.
Yep.
The
Pl-
prize support's gonna be crazy
prize
good.
support huge. First place, you get a custom painted Raider with all the fixings, the palp, the cards. Hopefully, a palp ace winner doesn't win that because he would have another Raider. But it will look really nice and it will be custom lighted. The thing looks
Yeah,
beautiful.
it
Trust
lights
me on
up.
that. You're gonna want first place.
You can use it as a flashlight. That's how bright it's gonna be.
Yeah, it's great. If you pre-reg, you have a week to pre-reg. If you pre-register, you'll be in a drawing for a custom painted Fire Spray 31 as Jango Fett. Jango Fett's Fire Spray.
Yep, as a door prize. You will also I think everyone who registers or enters period
hmm
gets a custom made initiative token.
Custom initiative token just for walking in the door.
Yep, along with the regular prize support.
along with the
obviously.
box, and I think we're gonna have a couple other things.
Yeah,
I think we're actually gonna have a set of Rebel Aces done up in the style of the
Star Wars Rebel
prototype
show.
Star Wars Rebels, the prototype B, and a
Hmm.
Phoenix Squadron A wing.
Can we confirm that?
Yes, I we can confirm that.
Okay, cool.
Pictures have been posted somewhere.
And is that going to be a door prize too?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Do we know if there's going to be store credit for the winners?
I'm not entirely sure 100% on the price support. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some store credit. There is
Yeah.
that Raider. There is the box.
Mm.
There will be a couple other things. We're waiting in the wings. Show up, find out.
Yep.
It's next week out here on Long Island, New York, Selden, New York, Brothers Grimm Regional, brothersgrimmgames.com. I think that's the website before I
Yeah.
send you to like
brgames.com.
brgames.com. Pre-reg is 25 to pre-reg. It's actually we're having the X-wing regional on Saturday, the Armada regional on Sunday.
Yeah, Armada Sunday. So definitely
Armada
go to that too if
Sunday.
you play Armada.
It's 25 for one day, 40 for both. I believe it's 35 day of. So definitely pre-reg if you're
Yep.
looking to go. We look forward to seeing you guys there.
Hmm.
You'll be able to meet us. We'll be at the casting desk,
Hmm.
and we look forward to it. It's going to be huge. We're going to
Yeah, and
love
if you
it.
win, we'll interview you. So
Yeah,
yeah,
winners
yeah, definitely.
interview. Oh, and I can confirm, custom, not custom, but home grilled food will be
Ooh.
provided.
Oh, I'm gonna have some of that.
I don't think I'm not sure if it's included in the entry ticket, but I know that food will be cooked on site. There is also food all around the place,
Yeah.
so no one's gonna go hungry. Everyone's gonna have a great time. We look forward to seeing everyone
Mm.
there. And last little bit, the week after, we will not. The May 21st, I don't believe we'll be having a cast.
Probably not.
Probably not because we will be at Plainview, Massachusetts,
Yep.
and we will be
Uh.
at Battleground Games and Hobbies for the Boston Regional
Yep.
because we need to get our hands dirty with some regional goodness.
Yeah, we want those nice dice.
Yeah. So,
Um.
what are you expecting out of this besides the dice?
Besides the dice, oof. Well, I expect it'll be a lot of fun. Oops, sorry. That was just nothing.
All right,
uh, I'm expecting U-boats, pulp aces, and some rebels,
and some weird stuff.
and some weird stuff. There's always weird stuff. Like, do you just have to like
Well,
know
what are
it's
you
gonna be
running?
there? I
Or do you not want to give it away? Is it a
I
trade
don't care.
secret?
Actually, I don't know.
Well,
See, the
you're
thing
not even
is,
decided.
I'm not even decided. I'll give a few options of what I want to run.
You're running out of time to practice, man.
Well, I'm running a lot. I practice a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I have this list called Mine Fives, where it's but the Palab, Kato, Guri, and Tansari Point Veteran. They all have a tiny mine link, and they just have amazing action economy because one of them focuses. They all get the focus token with the mine link,
Hmm.
and the rest of them are free to reposition as needed. So like you get so much action economy out of it. It's ridiculous.
And then you realize you're running four small base scum ships.
Uh that's one weakness. I did really well at the last store championship I went to.
Yeah, the one
Except
that
against
we ran.
robots. Yeah.
What place did you come in?
I came in fourth.
Fourth.
Yeah.
Right. All right. You came in fourth. Third place was we talked about this like a week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, we did.
I took first with my two U-boats.
Hmm.
Robots took second, and I think a guy running a fire spray and I think a U-boat or something like that took third.
Yeah, something like that. But anyway,
You would
so
have
yeah, there's
you
that.
might even got third if you didn't throw your first game.
I did throw my first game pretty friggin' hard.
All right,
It
so
was
that's something to note for the regional. Don't throw.
don't throw, yeah. Um, I might replace Pala with the Gans Finesman though.
Really?
Yeah. Just for that more staying power and the tractor beam.
That'd be cool.
I'm gonna work with it and see how it plays.
Mm.
There's also I want to try that Canadian control list with the forces.
Please don't.
It's so much fun though.
Please
Uh,
stop.
and then after that, I'm considering honestly a Pulp Aces list. because I can fly that pretty well.
I flew PAL bases once. It was terrible.
It was terrible.
I did terrible, but maybe it's because I haven't flown interceptors in a while. Maybe it's because I flew two interceptors and not
Yeah.
like sooner and somebody that's not an interceptor. I don't know.
But yeah, I'm a little wishy-washy right now. I'm also worrying about finals week for college, but there you go.
Well,
So,
hope everything pulls through.
yep. What are you gonna fly?
I'm not sure. I might bring what I won on Saturday.
Okay.
I might bring robots. It's kind of up in the air. I'm not going to decide. I'm going to kind of keep it a secret. So in
Mhm.
case anybody runs into me, they're
Yeah,
going to be
yeah.
like, haha, I've countered for your list in particular. And then I'm going to lose the rest of the tournament because I countered
I don't
one
think that's
list.
gonna happen. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Oh, we'll find
What do
out.
you expect?
Um, Crack Swarm, Jump Masters, Pal Bases, couple of Rebels.
Mm,
And I'm also gonna expect classics. I'm gonna expect the 4BZ. I'm gonna expect the Fat Han,
mhm.
because people just still run it.
Yeah, no,
It
definitely.
might not do great, but people will still run it.
No, Fat Han with the new Ghost is still good is a
Well, not
thing.
even with the new Ghost. So I'm just saying like Fat Han and like
Oh,
Han and Poe or
okay.
Han and Wedge.
Yeah, that's still a thing.
People will still run tried and true lists. People will still run the 4BZ. People will
Yeah.
still run stuff like that.
Hmm.
So um I expect the unexpected. I wouldn't know what it is, but someone's gonna run some weird stuff. You run weird stuff, so I'm always ready for weird stuff.
Okay. Are you ready for was it 5 Kiraxes?
Please stop, please.
Or 4-6 with HLC and stealth device?
I don't know. Anywho,
All right.
with that, I think we're gonna call it here.
Yep.
Everyone, thank you for watching this extended episode. We've kind of gone about 30 minutes over what we usually like, but hey, it's all fun. There was plenty of news out there.
Oh wait, hang on. We have
We do have some questions. We will.
oh
I'll take some questions from the Twitch
oh it
chat.
was Rob Grippa with third place. Thank you for that,
Yes, Rob
Fireman.
Grippa.
Okay, yeah.
What
He flew pretty
does
well.
Triple Jump Master have a bad matchup against? Really
Oh.
anything that can survive the initial torps.
Yeah.
Um, J- Jump Masters have a hard time. They have to hit. The problem with Triple Jump Masters, and it's not necessarily. It's kind of a feature of their list,
Mm,
and it's a problem if poorly executed. They have to hit a critical mass of damage. So I have to knock out X amount of ships or do X amount of damage. I have to cripple this much amount of points in
absolutely.
order to stay ahead. They do not do well playing from behind. So if one of your jump masters gets aced before he gets his torps off, you fire your torps and they're completely ineffective. They just whiff. You're in for a bad day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was in the last Tour Championship. I was versing Torps. I positioned so with that we didn't engage until all my ships were able to fire.
Don't joust
And
it.
don't j- don't joust it. I made him fly through rocks, so he lost like his U-boat couldn't get into the fight or do an action to be able to fire his torps.
Yeah,
And if you can deny them their focus tokens, like if you use Palab or Wes Jansen, somebody like that, you just immediately strip out one of their fire, like 1/3 of their firepower,
yeah. Like
and that loss of firepower will hurt them.
the best way to set yourself up for failure is jousting triple U-boats,
Hmm.
because if they get both salvos of three torps each,
Mm.
that's a bad day.
The one exception I will say
Mm?
could in fact be Cracksworm, because you can push that damage through. Like you could potentially kill a U-boat before it fires if you roll well.
I still wouldn't joust it
I mean, yeah,
because
but make them,
we got to talk about staying power, right? So
yeah,
crack swarm does they don't have auto thrusters. They pop their crack once and then that's it. Okay, so you kill
mm,
a jump master, but then okay, I still get
yeah, yeah,
360 arcs, and then it's easier for me to take the
yeah,
fight
yeah.
from there.
That's fair.
When I flew Tell, Manaru, and the hired gun, I
Mm,
flew against the crack swarm, and he jousted me, and he died.
mm. Oh,
Partially
another
because
important
I
thing.
have a little bit more pilot skill on him, but even
Yeah.
so, you might not have the ability to burst down the damage because it completely depends on dice rolls. If
Yes, it
your dice
does.
suck and mine are hot, you're in for a bad day. If your dice are hot and my dice are cold, well, I might be in for a bad day.
Mm. Another thing to consider is get into range one. Like I
Hug
know
them,
there's nothing
arc
you ever
dodge,
want
hug
to.
them.
Yeah, you stay out of their arc and be at range one of you never want to be at range one of a turret unless it's a U-boat because yeah, it can't
Well,
fire
you
its
don't want to.
torps.
You don't want to be in range one of this thing unless the alternate option is firing the torps. You're
Yeah,
better off arc dodging at range two
that's
if you
fair.
could do it,
If you can arc dodge, arc dodge. If you can't get to range one,
or
three dice is a
just
lot less scarier than four with a billion mods.
well, and the other pick your fight because
Yeah.
again, you don't want to joust these things. So
Mm.
if these dudes have lower pilot skill than you and they set up on one corner of the map, pick
Yeah,
the other
just go to
corner.
the other. Yeah.
Pick the other corner. Don't fight them.
Make,
Don't take the
yeah.
fight. Don't do it. Bad idea.
Make them
Uh,
fly through rocks,
make
break
them
up their squad.
like, and it comes to any ordnance list in general. I flew
Yeah.
against Dave like a month ago at a store in Fire and Dice. He ran the six Z95s, Blount, and I think four of them had concussion missiles. Think of it
Mm.
as like the Roman Legion, right? So the Legion walks on up. Centurion Blount says that guy, and then all the Z95s throw their pylon because
Mhm.
Blount had threat tracers. So that guy, all the locks. Here's your threat tracers. I have focus tokens on these guys, and I have the guidance chips. The
Okay.
best thing you can do against any list that relies on jousting or relies on getting all those torps on target is to make sure they don't fire it all at once. I
Mhm.
think in that game he fired one missile. So if you can get those jump masters to fire no torps or one torp, and definitely not fire them all at once. Fire them all at once is a disaster.
Yeah. No,
You're in
it's
for a good
absolutely.
day.
That's the main reason I was able to get that clutch win against the three U-boats I was versing. It's because one of them bumped, so no focus. Like or like he hit a rock actually, because I made the rocks all clustered together,
Hmm.
and because my list was all small base ships, I could maneuver easier through the rocks. And the other U-boat got into range to a Palob, and I was like, "Well, you're not firing your freaking torpedo ever.
Yeah,
Stay away
and
from me."
and taking this into consideration, this is actually how I won the final match for Sprobots. I was able to get both my torps off with Tell before he died.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
just getting your torps off is the big thing
Hmm.
with triple jump. If they die with their torps on them, waste. It's waste.
Yep. I
That's
actually killed a
damage
U-boat
ruined.
before it could fire your torpedoes.
Like even denying them one out of the two is really good.
Mm. Dying them too. Oof.
That's
This
that's disaster for them.
it is.
All right, so I don't think there's any questions here
Yeah.
in
Any other
Twitch
questions?
chat.
We'll give him
So
a
I
second
think
because there's a delay.
I think we'll wrap it up here,
Mm.
unless any other questions pop up. Do you have any final comments, Ouija?
Uh, the I'm gonna say that the meta is not favoring rebels. Like I'm looking at this and going, rebels have to really fly well.
Run those goddamn A wings and run them well.
Actually, the A-wings lost a regional. Like
Well,
they
I'm
were.
assuming they lose a lot of regionals if they don't win.
Yeah,
If you
yeah,
don't
that's
win, you
true.
lose.
I'm saying
You,
like they're.
you don't win, you lose.
I'm saying they're being flown, but like they're not doing well overall. They're
I
not
think
they're
that's
not being U-boats.
maybe because people don't know how to fly them. That's a thing too with lists like the U-boats. They're just very forgiving ships,
Hmm.
and when you want to fly a list, you want to fly something that you can afford to make mistakes. The list that can afford the most mistakes wins. That's why Brobots are really good. That's why Jump Master's really good because you can afford to make mistakes and you can keep going.
Absolutely,
Those are
100%
the
true.
lists that win. That's why palp bases are huge right now because with Palpatine you can afford to make mistakes because I could change one die when needed.
Hmm.
All right, that
All
being
right.
said, we're going to close it out here. Thank you
Yeah.
for participating, for joining us in this 2 hour special.
Yeah,
It
the
was a
two
little
hour
bit long, but
special.
there was plenty of content around here. Plenty of stuff to talk about the regionals. New content coming out from Fantasy Flight. We're expecting more in the coming weeks. We
Mm-hmm.
won't be on next week. You can catch us live at the Brothers Grimm Regional down here at Selden, New York.
Mm-hmm.
Twitch.tv/Gen Game. We're going to see
Mm-hmm.
if we can have it also on Grin Squadron TTV. Um, you can follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Grim Squadron Radio. On there, you could find links to the VODs from Twitch. You can also find them on YouTube. I'm going to upload episode 2 and episode 3 today. It's going to go up there as well. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
Mm-hmm.
It's been fun. I've had a lot of fun talking to you guys, and I hope we can keep this
Yeah,
program
keep it.
going.
Yeah, definitely. I want to keep this going. I want to see episode 100.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, that's a dream.
Here's to episode 100. So from us here at Grim Squadron Radio, I'm Zeph.
I'm Luigi.
Stay on target, fly casual. Take it easy, folks.
Yeah, don't hit the rocks.
Don't hit the rocks, they will kill you.